Welcome to a reading for Gemini. How are you going, beautiful Gemini? You are rising from the ashes, very much so. But you're deciding now, who are you truly deep down in your soul? And you're using your mental capacity to try and figure out, but it's not necessarily all to do with how you think or you think about something. It's how you feel as well. You may not have been operating recently from what you think is your true self. And you're going down into the depths, as I said, to find where you feel like you need to reside. Reside in the world, reside literally in a home, reside in a business. What's the new Gemini going to be? And with Uranus coming into your sign here, everything is turning itself on its head. So what you think and feel right now may not necessarily be how you think and feel in 12 months' time. So be very gentle on yourself at the moment. Be willing to make drastic changes too. And I don't think you're really frightened of that. You're just trying to figure out which way to go. You found in the past that your inner voice might have led you astray. Your inner voice is not always right. And that's really got you off kilter, because you're asking yourself, well, what can I trust if I can't trust my intuition? Well, the one thing you can trust at the moment, beautiful Gemini, is things are going to be completely different, and then change, and then change, and then change again, because Uranus has a way of completely turning everything on its head and seeing how you go with it, really. It's the best way of describing it. Coming from a Taurus, I've just been through this for the last 7 years, that I'm in a completely different place than I would have ever dreamed I would have been 7 years ago. So don't hold too tight to the outcome at the moment. It's very fluid. When you put yourself center stage, it's easier to see the next step. So pulling your energy back into you and not expecting others in the wider community to be able to figure it out for you will really help a lot. Your direction could literally go up and then down and then sideways and then all over the show. But that's okay, because you're testing. You're trying out things for size, just to see how it sits with you at the moment. In the past, I think you've come from a place of expectations on how you were raised, about how you expected your life to be. In our family, we do this, we expect that. But now you're starting to realize that you are the one that's alive now and making the decisions for yourself. And you are deciding that anything goes, really. Let's see. Let's give things a try. So let's get some advice for you. But it's got you up in your head. Please be gentle with yourself at this time. And sleeping could literally feel like it's something that is it's a distant memory. Going in and out of sleep, waking up at certain hours of the evening, you can look those things up. Like there's a lot of things about waking up at 3 and that sort of thing. But you're having extremely strong dreams. At times you could feel like they're nightmares, and other times you could feel like the best dream you've ever had, and want to be able to actualize it in the real world. But when you wake up, you realize that it could be a bit of folly. So you could be talking yourself out of your dreams too. There is a little bit of stability and a little bit of loyalty here, but you feel like it could be better. You feel like the people that you've been loyal to need to protect you a bit better, instead of just making a noise about it, but actually get up, stand up and do it. The realization, though, that we are all in this by ourselves, but all in it together too, is been sitting a bit hard with you. Less caffeine after midday. less expecting that you won't sleep. The more expectations we put into the future, the more likely it's actually going to happen. Doing meditation, time in nature, exercise, fresh air, those sorts of things will help you, yes. But also realize that being a very cerebral sign ruled by Mercury, you like to think your way out of problems. Sometimes that may not necessarily be the best way of doing things. Sometimes we may just have to experience outcome to find out exactly the ramifications of choices, our own choices and other people's choices. I'll get some more advice for you. But you also could be finding you're flipping into the Jekyll and Hyde role. You know, Gemini, people can call you that at times, where sometimes you're just the life of the party and other times you can be the party pooper. And wanting to be able to speak your truth, but feeling like there's a blockage of some kind because in the past you might have spoken your truth and end up getting in trouble for it or berated yourself about it. But the desire to actually say it and say it fast is really there. This is what I think. This is what I'm going to do. This is where I'm going to go. This. So that sort of hyperactivity in your nervous system, check in with yourself and see if you're coming from that place. I know it's a natural place for you to be, but your nervous system is really asking for you to calm it down a little bit and just sit in the knowing. The knowing that, you know, humans make plans and God laughs type of energy, whereas you could be coming up with plans and they're all, something happens to stop that plan, or the direction you're going seems to be a dead end or something like that. You could have been dealing with a water sign here, but you're finding it very difficult to actually find your true happiness while you're always out and about and trying to seek and grab and chase and all those sorts of energies. You've been through a lot. Oh, so much. Could be 5 relationships here. 2 ended up okay, but 3 really were a disaster. Or the last 5 months have been really hit and miss for you. Really hit and miss. You could have been disasters, I hear. Disasters one after the other. And remembering a time when things seemed a little bit more balanced, but in actuality, were they? Because as I said, God steps in, the universe steps in and can literally change your world overnight. And it's how you hold on to those ideas and thoughts about it that really affect you in the now. You want balance to return. But while you're so much up in your head and your feet off the ground, it can seem very hard to get that balance into your life. But it's also to realize that balance is relative. So if you do bring a moment of calm into this absolute manic energy that you might be feeling at the moment, it is a sense of balance. So strive for balance in all things. If you get a chance to have that quiet time, or just savor the cup of tea you're drinking, or the sun on your face, or that moment of quiet, is really going to help. But you're moving away from the way things were. And also, I think your health has been suffering quite a bit with all this stress and strain that's been going over you here. You could be looking online for advice on how to heal yourself, mind, body, and spirit. But at times you just feel like giving all of this rubbish up and just, you know, hopping in the car and driving away. You might even find that when you even get that thought come over you, you have car troubles. It can be very difficult to be human and in this 3D matrix. But make sure you're coming to center as best you can, as I said earlier, because that's where the healing is. That's where the solace is. And stop Another thing is be careful of doing things that take you out of reality, excess alcohol or something, doom scrolling or anything that sort of gets your mind off what's going on, but in a really negative spiral kind of way. Really will put you off kilter at the moment. But being Gemini, it's okay to go from one extreme to the other, but as long as it's not too extreme. When you feel that you've gone too far into the dark side, turn towards the light. And when you're too expecting everything to be absolutely perfect, realize that nothing's perfect in this world. And get some love block advice here for you. Escapism insofar as I hear like sci-fi and that sort of thing is really good to watch at the moment for you. You've always been a big advocate and a lover of sci-fi. Or that kind of thing, that type of out of the box type of viewing. But once again, don't watch it for 5 days in a row continuously and don't achieve other things in your actual world. To bring the balance back into your life here is you do need to balance the light and dark in yourself, the masculine and feminine side of yourself. And sometimes it takes really having to really focus very, very hard on bringing that balance in, that you might have to really fully concentrate on doing it. That's where you'll start to get a light-heartedness and a bit of a transformation in your scenario, is when you dedicate yourself to balance instead of dedicating yourself to escapism. Because you just want the abundance to start raining down on you. And at times you feel this, but it does take to get right down on the ground to actually sense it. Looking up towards the stars really helps as well. Looking to the angels, your guides. You already have what you need to love. And loving on yourself first and foremost. But see, sometimes you can feel like the intuition and things that you get through are a bit more like a firework, and you can actually feel like they sting when they hit you. Be very gentle with yourself with that. But let go. It is safe to let go of worry and hurt. Now, the energy that I've got here is I'm just so used to thinking and doing and being this way. I don't even know where to start to let go. And if I let go, will it all just fall on the ground and break and shatter? I don't know how to lift myself out of this. I don't know how to change. Well, it's just as simple as drawing yourself into yourself and just taking a second, even if you just really focus on your breath and your heartbeat for a second can really help. And stop projecting worst case scenarios into the future for yourself, Oh, this is just, it's going to get worse. Oh my God, if I do, that sort of energy. Yeah. Because it's very easy once you we can get addicted to the negativity in our own mind, the negativity of what we perceive in the outside world, negativity that we see on the news. Turn off the news. It's no good news out there. You're not keeping abreast of what's going on by continually watching the feed, the news, because it's coming from a biased opinion. You might feel like you've actually got the inside scoop and that sort of thing, but the inside scoop needs to be, you need to really reconnect with your own heart and source and higher guidance. Find passion again, particularly through dance. Remember, just dance like nobody's watching, I hear. So if you get that chance to move your body to your favourite song, it's going to bring so much joy, even fleeting. But I also hear don't do it under the influence of anything. A lot of the time we go to places to dance and there's alcohol and other things involved in dancing. But now's the time to just dance like nobody's watching, in big exuberant movements all around the house if you have to. Be adventurous and ignite your passion. And don't look for it outside of yourself, particularly if you're in a really negative space, because you'll just attract that negativity towards yourself from others as well. Because what we are, we attract. It's now time to step up and be responsible for your own life and be that wise master to yourself. It's not what happens, it's what you do about it. Absolutely. And this is basically the crux of the whole reading today. It's not what happens. We all go through various stages of life and various things that happen that really can put us off kilter. Here, there's a lot of people looking to this one individual for guidance. Now's the time to look within for guidance. Because we can't live the life the same as we lived our ancestors' lives, as in they lived their lives. The expectation that life was going to be a certain way growing up, I'd be married by now, I'd have a partner, I'd have, the house, the car, the kids, or whatever it be, can be very different in your life. Your parents love you as much as they are able to. And see, that's another thing too, that they came from their own stuff, how they were raised, how society expected them to act, societal expectations and that sort of thing. Society's expectations have changed quite dramatically. And we sure aren't expected to stay with our partners for, meet them when we were teenagers and be with them the whole of our lives. If you're blessed to have that relationship, fantastic, but it's not most people's experience these days. So don't beat yourself up if you're finding that you don't have what you expected to have by this stage of your life, whatever that expectation was. And don't listen to from family expectations too, expecting you to be a certain way or act a certain way or show up in society a certain way, because they're coming from their stuff, as I said. Understanding there is no right or wrong, there just is, absolutely. And that's it. That's the basis of this. There's no right and wrong, there just is. And see, a lot of times life cannot necessarily be very fair as we perceive it, but life is just life. People are just people. Experiences are experiences, and we're all here to learn, to experience, and to, at the end, take it all back to Source and enlighten Source, God, the universe, with everything, all of it. So us each experiencing our own life in our own certain way, we are bringing more consciousness to the whole. So be very gentle on yourself at this time, extremely gentle. And know that you are part of this absolutely amazing whole, and you deserve to be here. Excuse me, really affecting my throat. You deserve to be here. You deserve to exist. You are part of the wonderful, great whole of this universe. So take up your space in your little corner of the universe. Take up your rightful place, because together we make the whole. Okay, so I really, really, really hope that helped, Gemini. Please be very gentle with yourself during this massive time of transition, because you're just strapping yourself into that Uranus roller coaster right now, and here comes the ride. So I love you all. I really hope that helped, and bye for now.